So, employers and companies and businesses are finding more ways to cut costs and reduce their overhead and operating expenses. And one of the ways that they're going to do it and continue to invest in new technology and solutions moving forward is going to be through automation, technology, AI, artificial intelligence. And we've seen this. We've seen this before at Walmart. We've seen it at Target. We've seen it Kroger, various grocery stores through these self checkouts and other automated services that basically cut down on the amount of people needed to do the job that once was based on human beings and their physical actions and their ability to earn income and earn a living and earn a decent livable wage to pay their bills, provide for their families, put food on the table, buy groceries, stockpile and fill their pantries and do a little bit of prep, and maybe have a little bit for savings and some investments, and maybe even take a vacation or something. But businesses are getting tight. Money is getting tight. The economy is seeing some harsh and troubling times right now. And the signs are indicating that it's just going to continuously get worse. And here is a prime example. This is a prime example of how technology and AI is going to replace the human workforce and allow companies to be more economical and tighten their budgets and ultimately maintain operations, stay in business, and ultimately increase their profit margins. But regardless, what's going to happen is, let's just say in this particular situation, the employer, and this is I believe this may be a privately held company, or it could be even a government, city-owned operation. But regardless, they have budgets, they have limited funding, they have limited credit and cash flow, and they have to maintain profitability and maintain operations to stay open and functioning. But let's just say, as businesses continue to make these changes and continue to cut corners, and I don't want to say cut corners, but they're making cuts. They're making cuts. Some may say cutting corners depending on what they're doing, but in this particular situation, they're using technology, they're using artificial intelligence, they're using automation, robotics to replace workers. But, we are in a situation right now where so many folks are just battling and fighting tooth and nail just to get hours, just to even get a phone call back after sending in an application, sending in a resume. And, although there's reports that, we are currently in the best job market in recent history in over 50 years or some nonsense like that, they're not really true. They're not true. If you ask most people, if you ask most hardworking, middle class, working class, poor Americans, either they're struggling, either they have very low confidence in the likelihood that they'll keep their job, the future of their job, if they'll even make it through 2022 gainfully employed without going into the new year unemployed, looking for work, and just trying to find ways to make ends meet, regardless of the fact that there won't be any government assistance rolling out to help those who need it the most, the lowest income earners, the homes, the households and families that are near, at, or below poverty line levels. But as these technologies start to introduce themselves and replace the human workers more and more and more, we're going to find situations where employers are going to, more than likely, this is just my opinion, this is my prediction, but they're going to say, hey, look, guys, let's all have a meeting, okay? There were 10 folks and doing this job, and we have the technology to bring this job down to 3. Okay, so we're going to make a cut. We're going to cut 70% of our workforce, okay? And we hate it for you. We feel sorry for you guys. Y'all can go try to get unemployment. not a guarantee you're actually going to get unemployment, but you guys can apply and see if you can get it. But basically, we have the means and the ability to cut this workforce down 70%. So 70 of you guys are going to lose your job. 70 of you guys and gals are going to possibly lose your job and be unemployed, and through layoffs or being fired or however they want to phrase the termination. And three of you guys and gals will make the cut, and you'll stick around. But they're going to make a judgment call. They're going to provide you with an ultimatum. They're going to make it more difficult than just laying off and firing and terminating 7 out of 10. They're going to make it even harder than that. They're going to say, for the 3 that want to stay, the opportunity is available for the 3 that want to stay, but we're going to lower the pay. So either you can continue to work here for less money, or you can take your chances out there in the job market with these other 7 folks that just lost their job, which basically become your competition in the same field. And know that this isn't just going to be happening in your company, in your office, in your industry, in your city, in your town. This is going to happen all across the board. So your competition is going to be growing strong very quickly. And they're going to say, for the 3 that want to stay, we got these robots, we've got these computers, and they can do your jobs, and they're more efficient. We still need some drivers to get this done, but for the most part, you don't really have to do much. And if anybody here is willing to step up and take a pay cut, then come see me in my office, and then we can have a discussion about your future here at this company. And I think that's what we're going to see happen, especially in some of these fields that were already paying above the minimum wage requirements. We're going to start seeing them backing down on that by leveraging gainful employment against how much you're going to earn to do that job, just to see who out there is going to be hungriest, who out there is going to be ultimately the most desperate to keep their job, and maybe even keep a few benefits between healthcare and dental, maybe some form of vacation time, a few paid time off, PTO hours, maybe some sick days, maybe even a retirement 401k or something. But I honestly believe that we're going to see a shift in these companies replacing employees and replacing their workforce with automated technology and robotics. And then for those who want to stay employed and not have their income go directly, automatically overnight to zero, they're going to say, hey, who here is willing to take a 25% pay cut? And then you're going to have somebody say, I'm willing to take a 25% pay cut just so that they have some money coming in. We've seen it already with the truck drivers. Truck driving industry, they were taking pay cuts just from the higher prices of diesel fuel. They were taking pay cuts right there automatically. And then you had the dispatchers and those that were running freight logistics lowering the freight rates. So they were taking pay cuts, but they, why they kept doing it? So that they had some money. So that they stayed on the road and they had an opportunity to get to another terminal, another hub, another chance to make some money. And so what you're going to see is you're going to say, who here is willing to take a 25% pay cut just to stay employed, just to keep their benefits, just to, have the rest of their vacation hours, just to, still have a job? Can you imagine losing your job and then, you have to go get a new apartment? You want to go find a new place to stay that's a little bit less expensive, but then you fill out the application and you're not employed. How are you going to get approved for that? So, what's going to happen? A few somebodies are going to step up and say, hey, we're willing to take that 25% pay cut. And they're going to be like, all right, so 70 you got to go. We got 3 folks here that are willing to take, 70% of our workforce is going to get laid off. 70% of our workforce is pretty much obsolete and out of a job. We're going to replace you with computers and technology and robots and automation that don't need breaks. They don't need vacation time. They don't need benefits, because we also got these 3 folks here. We got 30% of the workforce willing to take a pay cut to keep their job. What's going to happen after that? Any of the 7 folks, any of the 70% that were going to lose their job, they're going to step up. You know what they're going to do? You know what they're going to say? They're going to say, we'll take a 30% pay cut. And somebody will step up and say, I'll take a 35% pay cut. And then these employers are going to start pitting the employees against each other and create this cutthroat, eager, and aggressive situation and competitive nature of folks just trying to stay employed, willing to lower their income probably far below levels that they should be. They're probably already too low to begin with, having not received raises and not received cost of living adjustments, and not, had raises that helped them keep up with inflation and all the higher prices we're seeing with gas and diesel and rent and mortgages and interest rates and food and groceries and utility costs and all the expense, insurance, everything that's going up. The bank fees are getting higher just to even maintain a checking and savings account. It costs more per month now just to do that. And then you're going to start seeing people getting desperate, cutting each other's throats just to keep the job that they already had, agreeing and accepting the terms of getting paid less to do the same job they were doing before, just so they don't get fired, just so they don't get laid off, just so they don't get terminated, and they can watch the robots take over. Ultimately get into a point at which they won't even need that 30% they kept anymore. They may get down to 10%, or maybe even get down to a point where the robots are 100% automated and they don't even need the people anymore. But I see the trends. I see what's going on. I see the advancements in technology. I see the investments that companies are making in these new developments, the investments that the United States government is making in semiconductor chips to produce them here in the United States to get these robots. Everybody thought the semiconductor chip shortage problem was isolated primarily, mainly affecting the automotive industry, and that's not true. The automotive industry was like 10% of semiconductor chips. The rest of them, they're going to technology, they're going to AI, they're going to robotics, they're going to the new technology that's going to take the place of the human workforce, basically putting everybody else out of business.